I came in shape. I just made sure I'm always in the playbook.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp pitching held on to a 1-run lead. It was enough to get the victory Sunday against the Gwinnett Stripers. Following the 4-day All-Star break, Jacksonville begins a 3-game series against the Durham Bulls Friday from 1-1 Financial Ballpark. In MLB play, the Rays defeated the Cleveland Guardians, and the Marlins got the victory over the Cincinnati Reds. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
It's 86 degrees at 9:58. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Man, y'all know what time it is. T-Law got the eyes of Lee Van Cleef when he go in that field.
Checks it down underneath. That's a crossing route to Christian Kirk. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Christian Kirk to the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
They made a major mistake when they made T-Law go to the spirit of the sky, to the oracle of the saber-toothed tiger, and the saber-toothed tiger now has the scepter in his hand, and he been to put every critic to rest. Man, last night I done marinated 2 turkeys. I got my cherry wood getting ready for my smoker. Just got off from work, off Pritchard Road. I'm gonna bake me 2 Cornish hens. My special recipe, I call it the Mediterranean Cornish hen. I'm gonna top it off with my homemade Long Island iced tea. And I'm only gonna top it off with 1 red top of Coca-Cola. The Maxwell House coffee will live on forever. Duval!
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith.
All right, good morning, everybody, and I am sorry. I'm back. If you thought it was going to stay out any longer than it was, that's not the case.
Welcome back, buddy.
Haven't seen you this month.
Yeah,
right?
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been June.
Yeah.
Sometime in June. It's July 15th, for goodness sakes.
I know. It's been a few weeks.
Welcome back to me.
Yeah.
All right. We're back. Tony's going on vacation in 2 days.
I am.
So, Dylan Denmark, mentally calling him Tyler Devitt still. Not here today. RJ Saunders, good morning.
Morning, fellas. What's the haps?
Well, we're glad you're here. Not to, suggest that we are not excited that you're here, but me and Tony and Dylan have not been in the studio/control room together in a while here.
Oh, yeah.
Talking Jaguar football. But, and Tone, I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't miss it when I'm away, right? Like, you're on vacation, right? You're like, I put it out of sight, out of mind. The only thing that got me moderately stirred up was the Cody Benjamin ranking of the top 20 edge rushers in the National Football League, and I know you discussed that at length.
Yes, we did.
Let me just say this. Joshua Hines Allen rolls off the tongue so much easier than Josh Hines Allen.
It does, for whatever
reason.
Right?
It's just the single-syllable words, 3 in a row, right? It's Joshua Hines Allen. So am I okay not putting $1 in the jar if I call him Joshua? Right? Like, as long as I get the Hines Allen part done, right? And I want to be respectful. This is his name. It's Maurice Jones-Drew. We all call him MJD. It's like he was never anything but. Right? And it's fine. I have no issue whatsoever. I think it's great. It actually has brought a little bit more attention because some stories are written and people are like, oh, Joshua Hines Allen guy is pretty damn good, except for Cody Benjamin over at CBS Sports, who didn't have him in his top 20 edge rushers. And if ever there was a day I was like, oh, man, why can't I be on the air today? That was the day, Tone. ESPN came out like the very next day, had him 8th in their edge rusher rankings, which it goes to show you none of it matters. It really doesn't, right? Today, ESPN, in their ongoing series of player rankings, are on to the quarterbacks. Seems like a pretty important position, right? Last year, you recall where Trevor Lawrence ranked last year?
8th.
He did. He was 8th. In the ESPN rankings, down to 16th this year. I get it's fair. I even mind it, right? I get a lot of turnovers, man. The interceptions combined with the fumbles got to be better. Understand? Look, we say this. We are are fully aware of the circumstances that surrounded his performance, the drop passes, the injuries to himself, others, what have you. But the bottom line is the bottom line. And, we were all reveling in their ranking. Oh, Trevor already in the top 10 quarterbacks. Wait till he makes the move this year, right? Coming off the season-ending 15 touchdown, 2 interception streak.
Certainly the expectation.
Right. You don't expect a 30-4 season necessarily, right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers will throw one up like that, but Aaron Rodgers is also considered one of the handful of greatest quarterbacks of all time. Trevor's not there yet. We're happy with our guy, but does it matter? I mean, when the Houston Texans come calling, or we go to Houston this year, are we going to throw a bunch of rankings out there on the table and go, ha! Therefore, we will win or you will win. No, none of it
matters
none of it really
in the end, right? It's all just conversation starters in the middle of July. I get it.
So it matters to us.
Right. I'm appreciative for it, right? Like that there are places that do these kind of things for all of us who do talk radio to react to with all the conversations around these teams. But in the end, they don't matter. Him being 8th on the list didn't matter, right? It didn't affect the way that 2023 went for Trevor Lawrence, him having been 8th. It's not like when he made a mistake, you were like, but he's ranked 8th.
Right.
Like, how does this – it's guys play the way they play once we get to them being able to play, and you react to all these things. I do think ESPN's list is obviously different than, like, the Cody Benjamin list with Josh not being on the list, right? Like, it's different with his because that's his list. That's all we're getting is his list.
Correct.
At least on ESPN, right, you're getting front office guys, scouts turning in their top 10 list. And it was interesting, because they did have Joshua Hines-Allen at 8 on the list on ESPN. Trayvon Walker got a vote in the top 10 from somebody.
Right.
Right? Like, it's interesting to see that somebody thought about him to that degree at some point on doing that kind of list, if nothing else, because there's no pressure on anyone to do that kind of thing. It does feel like the rankings that ESPN has been doing feel a bit more close to the reality of how the league looks at the guys within the league, right, than most of the lists that we see with this kind of stuff. I think even PFF, they have the way that they grade the players, and that's what they put their list together based on, right? They give you their ranking of the players based on their grades. Right. And so they grade them the way they grade them. Well, guys inside the league don't grade everything the same way PFF does. And certainly they grade it apparently very differently than Cody Benjamin does, right? Like, there are different levels of how much I take in what they're telling me with the rankings of these different positions. ESPN's, I felt the same way about it the last couple of years. When they put out this list each of the last couple of years, I buy into what they do with this composite ranking more than I do most
more so,
of
right.
the composite rankings we get.
And guess what? Every personnel guy in the league can agree on something and be wrong.
Absolutely.
Happens all the time, right?
No doubt.
I mean, you see Bus. Otherwise, how do you get Bus in the top 5 of the NFL draft? Right?
Sure.
The top 5 of the NFL draft, even at non-quarterback selections. So
absolutely.
It is, again, we're going to, from time to time, highlight when we see something positive, because it's nice to see people talking well about the team that you care about, the team that you cover, and the team that our audience cares about. But at the same time, it just is a reminder to really just take it all with the major pile of salt. It's not even a grain, man. I mean, to not put him in the top 20 with guys in there who've never had 10 sacks in a season. It was absurd.
It's silly.
And all it is, it's Jacksonville. It just goes to show you, even in today's NFL, with the saturation of all this information, it's all at our fingertips. It doesn't matter. This is a market that gets overlooked, and we're not going, oh, poor me, whatever. Look, go win on the field, and who cares? You know what? Win the Super Bowl. Let them all say, that's the worst Super Bowl champ of all time. Who cares?
Yeah.
We'll wear the T-shirt, okay? And let's go win 5 and be
They never get to take the trophy away.
Right, let's be the worst 5-time Super Bowl championship team of all time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I hope they can't ever get rid of that thorn.
You and I are friends, right? We're friends.
Friends.
You want proof that we're friends?
Okay.
I logged you out of Twitter on this laptop.
Logged in?
I logged you out of Twitter without
crazy.
Posting anything in your name. Okay?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that for everybody.
Uh-huh.
Okay? and I've made some enemies over the years, on a shared computer. So that's weird.
I had to log into it every day last week.
So you were logged in on Friday.
Yeah.
So nobody logged in their Twitter. I mean, I know Jeff doesn't have one, so that is understandable. But nobody on Friday? Nobody on the weekend?
Apparently.
I was like, who is this? Oh, that's Tony. Here's what they said about Trevor Lawrence. This is not the focus of the show today, but, Trevor Lawrence is always a pretty good focus of Jaguars Today. This is what he said. He basically, you can read it and figure out the ranking because they ranked them, the others receiving votes in the order that they receive votes, right? So Trevor Lawrence came in 16th among quarterbacks this year. They wrote, surprisingly, last year's number 8 QB fell 8 spots. Turnover is the primary issue. He has 60 through 3 years, including a league-high 21 last year, 14 picks, 7 fumbles, though team sources caution he barely practiced over the last 2 months of the season due to various injuries that he attempted to tough out. That's fair, but so is the end result there, right? I mean, we don't know what's going on with everybody in every practice, and I understand Trevor Lawrence has well-documented all the injuries. So the quotes in here, I think people are tired of waiting on him, an AFC scout said. He's 24 years old. They're tired of waiting on him? When do they get to Michael Penix, Tony? I mean, my gosh. I do think he'll put it all together eventually. He should be in the top 10. Okay, that's according to an AFC scout. A veteran NFL personnel evaluator said he's going to be a little streaky and have moments where he disappears, but when he gets hot, Jacksonville is dangerous. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Look, do you have a quarterback that, when he is hot, can lift your team to postseason success on a multi-week basis? Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to.
No doubt.
You got to win enough to get there and then have the ability, because you're going to have to at some point in the postseason put your team on your shoulders and go out there and carry them if you're going to get to the promised land, which is the Lombardi Trophy and a Super Bowl championship. All right, now that I've logged myself into Twitter or X, I don't have to put $1 in the jar for calling it Twitter, right? Are we doing this though? Are we? Can Pockets afford $1? I mean, I know he's not talking as much as we are.
Sure.
But Joshua Hines, I'm not penalizing us for saying Joshua. Joshua Hines Allen. Yeah. We love you. We're trying to be respectful of the name. It just rolls off with the Joshua. But the Hines Allen part is the important part, the hyphenated part. So, I'm sure I'll screw it up. And I'll have to donate at some point in time. But can Pockets afford $1? I don't know, man.
We'll have to ask him.
Although he is on vacation.
He is.
Right? He's all over the place. He tweeted me a picture of some Boston Red Sox socks and asked if I wanted them as a souvenir.
I saw that.
What the hell is that all about? All right. Today, we have a question of the day presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate, as we do every day. All right. This is basically, we try to talk about everything. Right? But some things still fall through the cracks, or some things need a little bit more attention. So, Jaguar fans, which player, position, or position group on the Jags? Could be an individual player, could be, center, could be offensive line as a group, has not gotten the attention, good or bad, that it deserves this offseason. In other words, we should be talking about it more like, hey, this is a concern, or hey, man, do you realize what we've done here? And this is one of the strengths of this football team. So, whichever angle you want to come at it from, which position group, or individual player deserves more attention, good or bad, positive or negative. So hit us up today at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. And you can hit us up on social media as well at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at R.No.J. Is that right, RJ?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, I got it, baby. All right, we're Jaguars Today, and we're rolling right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. The Frangie Show.
We stand for something. To those dead souls inching along the freeways in their metal coffins, we show them that the human spirit is still alive.
Afternoons.
Why didn't we do this sooner?
On 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Save money while beautifying your home with Renewal by Andersen with their energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Their exclusive Fibrex product is chic, tough, easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. Right now, buy 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free, plus 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
This is big-time ball season.
1010XL takes you to SEC Football Media Days.
They all have something unique to bring to the game.
Players, coaches, college football insiders. Brought to you by Southern Steer Butcher and Underwood Jewelers.
I love this game. I live this game.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com.
You could win your share of over $450,000 in cash and prizes at the 5-star Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. The fun starts July 13th with the inaugural kickoff beach tournament with a $50,000 cash first prize. There's a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the general offshore tournament winner takes home a 28T contender with twin 200 Yamahas. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Your cooling system isn't working. Maybe somebody showed up with a portable electronic device. Then they discussed with you what your options are. Maybe they gave you an estimate that seems like an awful lot of money. What's the smart thing to do? When the situation merits a second opinion, get a Mike Merritt opinion. Yes, the Mike Merritt Comfort Team shows up with hand tools. We've never been able to fix an air conditioning problem with a tablet. Mike Merritt has been the trusted name for more than 30 years because there's never any hocus pocus. The Merritt team will walk you through the diagnostic steps up close and personal and show you exactly what you need. And the Mike Merritt price is likely to be far less because there's never an overtime charge, and the Merritt team doesn't work on commission. So remember, when it comes to the health of your cooling system, a second opinion can only help, and a Mike Merritt opinion can save you money. Florida license CACO 50384.
Arrested? Got traffic tickets? DUI? License problems? Gun charges? Drug charges? If you've been charged with any crime, call me, criminal defense attorney Malcolm Anthony, at 285-4LAW. That's 285-4LAW.
Hey folks, Pickin here for Zero Res. You and I know Zero Res loves cleaning carpets in your home. But did you know Zero Res can also clean the carpets where you work? Take a look at the floors where you work, and if they need cleaning, Suggest to the boss they call Zero Res. For the month of July, Zero Res offering 20% off all commercial carpet cleaning. Call Zero Res, and they'll come out and give you a free estimate on what it will take to get the job done. Zero Res, man. You spell it forward. Zero Res, you spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
You know, Santa's on the beach this time of year, but the elves at Beard's Diamonds have been busy.
It's Christmas in July at Beard's Diamonds. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Don't buy anywhere until you shop Beard's Diamonds.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
You'll see some differences with the defense. I think it's all positive, but at the same time, we got to get it all gelled on the same page as we move forward.
That's Doug Pederson joining us from his submersible in the middle of Lake Tahoe. It sounded like it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
He was, the American Century Classic or whatever they call that thing,
Whatever
the golf
it is,
tournament.
yeah.
Did happen to catch Trevor Lawrence make a birdie putt yesterday. I don't know if you watched any of it.
No,
right?
I didn't.
And look, I get it, right? Far be it from us, we all fall in the same trap, right? And far be it from me to critique somebody else's broadcast. They're obviously doing quite well for themselves. They're national broadcasters on NBC. But dang, Tony, if you watched that golf tournament at Lake Tahoe, every person who's the greatest person in the world played in that. The greatest human being in the world. You want to talk about a good person, man? Let me tell you about like the next guy who came up. And am I wrong in thinking that this Marty Fish guy, right, who wins this like every time, right, or he's won it 5 or 6 times or whatever the case may be, should be better than he is? Like a guy who is that dominant, and there's some pretty good golfers mixed in here, should not be missing greens by like 30, 40 yards and hitting as many in the trees as they do. It's an odd little thing, but it was nice to see Trevor make a birdie putt yesterday. So good for him. Getting a little national pub.
Fun that they get to go do that.
It's one of those deals that, when you watch golf, when they're showing somebody like who's way out of contention, he's about to do something. They're like, let's see here. He's got because it's plausibly live. It's tape delayed. You know what's coming here.
Especially at an event like that. Like, I get it if it's Augusta or something like that, and they have somebody that they show everybody on TV at some point. Like, everyone who participates in the tournament basically gets shown at some point. The amateurs especially get shown.
Right, but when the guy at +4 gets shown on Saturday afternoon.
Right, it's like, okay, he's about to do something.
He's about to chip in, right? But don't act like you're surprised when it happened, because you knew it was coming.
You only have to watch so much golf to have a feel for, this is them showing me the shot of the guy because we show everybody, and they're about to show because this guy had a good shot. Right? Like, don't act like you don't know. That's what you're throwing to. It's like, we know.
That's all I'm saying, right? Like, we all know. It's no, you're not tricking anybody.
Right. He's about to either hit the pin and it's going to run back out and it's going to be it was so close, or he's going to put it in.
And they didn't actually do, I think they even said, hey, and here was Trevor Lawrence. And there was no pretense of, hey, let's wonder if he's going to make this 20-foot putt right here. Like, I'm just waiting, though, for the graphic. Trevor Lawrence, Super Bowl champion, quarterback, right, of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No doubt.
Right? It's going to be fantastic. It's funny, too, not that this really has a whole lot of bearing. I think Trevor got a fair contract, right? Yeah. I think it's very fair. There are some out there, like Omar Kelly, who covers the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Is like, this is terrible. He's really not making that much money. Okay. Like, is he happy with it? It seems like he's making a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
The Jags are happy. He's happy. Who's not happy? Tua, I guess, because they're not giving him the same thing. And he's like, well, he shouldn't want the Trevor Lawrence contract. I don't care.
I don't care what he wants.
I don't care what Tua wants. Right.
I don't care how much it complicates the situation for Miami or
I
Tua.
hope it does.
Right, or anybody else.
I hope it does.
For them to figure it out. We said it when he signed the deal. here
He's
in
happy with
Jacksonville.
it.
He's happy with it. The
Jags
Jags
are
are
happy
happy
with
with
it.
it. They have very publicly said, this is our guy. We don't need to see any more to be convinced that he's our guy long-term in Jacksonville. If Miami's still going, I don't know if Tua's the long-term, then you deal with it.
Right.
Jacksonville made their decision. Don't blame Jacksonville because y'all can't decide what to do with Tua. That's your problem. Deal with it yourself.
That being said, if someone in the NFL truly did the Jalen Brunson deal, and Jalen Brunson's going to make all his money back. Like, if you really look into the particulars of it, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks took a deal that basically, if he waited a year, he could have signed for over $100 million more, right? He also could blow out his knee, right? So there is some
There's
of
a
that
risk to
in there.
it,
He's
yeah.
not made that kind of, he made plenty, right? He made enough money that if he never played another minute of basketball, he'd be just fine. But
okay.
Could you imagine somebody in the NFL, like Tom Brady, took below market because, he had a wife who was making, I don't know, $50, $100 million a year as a supermodel. I don't know what supermodels make, but the narrative was always Giselle made more money than Tom Brady. They don't need this money. He's got plenty. And rare is the person who finds himself in that scenario. Don't be mad when guys try to get what they're deserving of.
Absolutely.
And when I say deserving of, by the system. The system determines, hey, the players are going to get X amount, and, did you get enough to be, quote, respected in the locker room as the clear franchise quarterback? Obviously. I mean, I don't think anybody questions Trevor Lawrence's place in the pecking order here in Jacksonville. It's number one. It's ahead of Doug Pederson, really. I mean, Doug Pederson's the voice. He's the leader of the team and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But Trevor is it. He's the franchise. So anyway, we'll get to Trevor here in a sec. One more from the submersible at Lake Tahoe. Doug Pederson. This was on Friday. He was speaking, and Tony didn't get around to getting to it, because there's just a lot of stuff to get to.
Sure.
As you heard coming into the segment, will the defense look different? Well, he was asked about a new approach on defense now that Ryan Nielsen is at the helm.
Obviously, there were some changes made, on staff last year, and bringing in Ryan Nielsen and his staff on defense, and the sort of the new approach that he has with our defense, and guys like Josh, and with Trayvon, and the addition of Eric Armstead, and guys like that can really help us in the pass rush and even be better than we were before.
One quick note on Nielsen here. NFL.com did a series. You can go look at it for yourself and get all the detail on 5 training camp storylines for every team. They completed the AFC South. Nielsen is one of those, and it said, he doesn't have a long track record. He's serving as a defensive coordinator for the 3rd straight year with a different team, but he goes, that's not from lack of results. 2022, Saints finished in the top 10 in scoring, top 5 in yards allowed. 2023, he took a previously bottom-tier Falcons D to its best ranking in both those categories in 6 years. So let's take a middle-of-the-pack defense and let's elevate him into the top 5. That'd be fantastic.
He's been very successful doing the job that he's just been hired to do in Jacksonville. So I would hope for the same kind of results here with him as the defensive coordinator for the Jaguars. Coach also was asked about, we were just talking about Trevor and the contract and all these different things. He was asked about the decision ultimately to extend Trevor Lawrence now.
Yeah, well, the decision was easy. We all feel in the building that he's our guy, and he's obviously the face of the franchise. And he was drafted a few years ago, the first-round pick to be that guy. And we have all the confidence in the world, and we're just excited and thrilled for he and his family to get this contract behind him as we head into this season, into 24, and just continue to build on the last 2 years. Wasn't a perfect finish, to last season. We had some injuries. Trevor's one of those guys that we got to continue to keep healthy, but he's on the right path, and we continue to work. We build the pieces around him, get our run game going a little bit, play good defense, and see what happens.
Happy talk, right? And it's fun. That's where we're at. We're in the off season, right? But this is where we're at now. Go and take that and show that you've earned it and show that you're worthy of that. In fact, in the 5 training camp storylines, I'm surprised this wasn't number 1. It was number 2 for the Jags. Trevor Lawrence got his big extension. Now it's time to pay the team back by proving that 2023 was a blip rather than the new normal after, going on a tear to end the previous season. Didn't back it up to that degree. Even before he got hurt, the numbers weren't what he was doing, although they were better than they were.
Heating up.
They were. They were getting better. But, goes through all the injuries and all that and says, look, he still wasn't lighting the world on fire when he was healthy. The goal, avoid injuries through camp, then resoundingly transition from good to great in year 4.
Mm-hmm.
Who's not on board with that?
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, that's got to be the expectation. It's not like, all right, he's our guy. We're happy. We love Trevor. And all that's fine. We do. We love Trevor. And we believe that he's got the ability. At least I do. Tony does. When I say we, we're speaking for us here at the panel. And, But I don't think there's any question he's got it in him. Now you got to go do it. All right, we'll have a little bit more from the submersible with Doug Pederson coming your way. Your question of the day today, is there a position, a player, a position group that you feel has been under-discussed or we're not focusing on enough, good or bad, positive or negative? You're worried or you're saying, hey, man, do you realize what we got right here, maybe with that D-line group or whatever else? Let us know. That's your Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Wake up and smell the golf balls.
Brunch with the Tour.
Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Uphill putt for birdie.
Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. Tuesday morning at 8:30 on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. SkyLife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at SkyLife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loans, and personal loans. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally, hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Hey Beaches area, great news for your next party. You can now buy Mystic Cornhole Company boards in stock at the Seaside Shops on 4th Avenue in Jacks Beach. Or as always, at mysticcornhole.com.
What's larger, the Earth's moon or the planet Pluto?
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
The moon is larger than Pluto as its radius is over 1,000 miles. Pluto, just 715 miles.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella windows and doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality products. I even chose Pella windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway at Pella Windows and Doors.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, welcome into the Jaguars Today piano bar right now. RJ Saunders tickling the ivories over there. This is kind of a chill vibe. Hey, look, man, you do you, RJ, with the music. I'm good with all of it. Pour one out for Jacoby Jones, passing away at the age of 40.
Yeah.
Way too young. Man, I mean, the older I get, Tony, everyone's way too young when they go, right? But he'll always have a fond place in our memory because our cohort, Josh Carney, thought his name was pronounced Jacoby Jones. For you, I mean, you want to talk about a tip jar that should have been full of dollars. That was one right there.
No doubt.
When we did the fantasy forecast show with Josh back in the day.
And what Jacoby Jones did in that playoff game in 2012 in the divisional round, and then in the Super Bowl on top of that, he had the touchdown at the end of regulation, the Mile High Miracle, as it's called. And then in the Super Bowl, he had the kick return, and his only catch in that game was a 56-yard touchdown in a 31-28 win for the Baltimore Ravens. It's remarkable for a player that, for his whole career, he was a good player. You don't last 9 years in the league.
He was an excellent return man.
Right. And that anybody at any point in their career has that kind of run of success for any short period of time and at least to a championship. Unbelievable. And everyone, we've been able to watch everyone reacting to his passing.
Sure.
The last day or so. And anyone who was ever around him, teammates, opponents, everyone loved the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Imagine if Jamal Agnew did that for the Jags or Devin Duvernay for now, right? But, or any man, Reggie Barlow at any point had that kind of postseason en route to a Super Bowl championship, he might be in the pride of the Jags.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, he'd be lionized.
The discussion, every time we open that discussion up, someone would mention their name.
Yeah, but, right? Top 10 Jags of all time. Well, I mean, how are you going to overlook this? Without that, we don't have this.
Yeah.
True, to a large degree. I did find, we'll get back to the submersible here in a minute with Doug Pederson, head coach of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith here with you, along with R.J. Saunders. Dylan Denmark back tomorrow for one day, and then Tony goes on vacation.
I do, yeah.
All right, but the training camp's right around the corner, and that's what we're building towards. And, you know, what do you call them? The people that weigh in on how you should do sports radio. What is the word I'm looking for?
Critic?
Kind of the critics, but the people, the advisors, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like behind the scenes, they'll say, well, you know, don't do this, do this. And, you know, your audience turns over every 13 seconds. So repeat the same thing over and over and over again because you never know who's turning it. All this is radio behind the scenes. You don't care about it, right? And you shouldn't. Don't refer to this as the dead period, right? Because then you're giving your audience the ability to tune out, right? Oh, it's a dead period. There's nothing to talk about.
They don't know?
They know, right? We're not going to insult you. You know, we're building towards training camp when we have actual, then we'll overhype every catch that Elijah Cooks made or anybody else for that matter.
Yeah.
But, Tone, if this is not peak dead period story that I showed you this morning, I mean, the greatest dead period story I can ever remember being written. And that's saying, and that is not hyperbole. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, to get you through the weekend. Okay, this was put out on Friday afternoon by the friendly folks over at Pro Football Network who generally do a decent job, you know, looking at everything going on around the league and have fairly decent opinions. In fact, they put out their top 100 list. We'll take a peek at it later on for what it's worth. You know, on the one hand, I'm going to go, don't pay any attention to these lists because Cody Benjamin's an idiot. But if the Jags are on there favorably, maybe we'll take a peek and not be so mad, right? So we're hypocrites. But this one, Tone, you thought... Tell me what you thought when I read this to you.
You told me that there was an article about, you told me Mac Jones.
All right, let me read the headline.
Yeah.
All right, and then you tell me what you thought.
Yes.
Mac Jones trade details, revisiting winners and losers from New England Patriots and Jacksonville Jaguars trade.
Yeah.
That's the headline of the article.
And I should have, you know, related that to what actually happened in real life. In my head, I was like, when did Matt Jones get traded?
Jones.
Matt.
Right.
I was like,
did they trade his rights?
Like a draft day? That didn't happen on draft day. What happened?
How are we revisiting a deal?
I was like, what? Why is Matt Jones? Why would anyone anywhere want to do a story about Matt Jones?
Oh, my gosh.
In 2024. And then you told me what it was. And my next thought was, why would anyone want to do a story about Mac Jones?
Correct. And Mac, we hope you never play for obvious reasons, but if you do, we hope you play exceptionally well, right?
Absolutely.
We're not rooting against you. It's just the absurdity.
Yeah.
Let's revisit a trade that happened this offseason so we can look at the winners and losers of said deal.
Are they doing every trade?
I don't think so. I don't see like a whole list of headlines associated with this where let's look back and click on this. Like, what?
Okay. All right.
And so basically, Mac Jones, to remind you, was traded to the Jaguars prior to the draft for a 6th-round pick. That pick turned out to be quarterback Joe Milton. Will Joe Milton ever play for the New England Patriots, who selected Drake May, 3rd overall?
Yeah.
Right? And have Jacoby Brissett, who many feel will open the season as a starter. And let's say Drake May wins the job at some point. Jacoby Brissett will be the game day backup for sure.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the 3rd quarterback, long shot to ever see the field. Is it surprising to you? They go through the whole thing. Patriots received. Jags received. Players involved in the trade. We know it's 2 guys, right? It's Mac Jones and Joe Milton. So, conclusion, who won the trade?
Oh.
Okay? Very good chance that neither came away with the best side of the trade, they say.
That's disappointing.
Right. Basically they're saying chances are neither one of them will ever play.
It's a weird article to write a story.
What are we doing?
And your story basically ends that here's a bunch of nothing.
This article is pointless, is what the story tells you.
Right. It's like there's nothing to see here.
What?
Like, okay.
Revisiting?
There's no opinion to be had. There's nothing to visit. Likely nothing happened.
5 years down the road, maybe Joe Milton's played 8 games.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Right? Who knows? Because of injuries or whatever. Maybe Mac Jones had to come in, and when Trevor Lawrence, not that this would ever happen, but if Trevor Lawrence missed half a season and Mac Jones had to play, then we can go, oh, how did he perform?
Yeah.
What did you get? You know, was it worth giving him up for this? Would you rather have, look, I'd rather have Mac Jones than Joe Milton simply because Mac Jones has played football in the National Football League. We need a guy. We're not into developing the third quarterback territory here.
Yeah.
I mean, and nor should we be.
Look, Mac Jones is under contract for 1 year in Jacksonville. If he has to play any amount of time, it's going to be what happened, right? Like, and we'll grade whatever he does on the field based on that, but there's some chance that this is the only year he plays in Jacksonville and that he never plays.
And he never plays a snap.
Right.
Like, so, well, I mean, of all the deals you can look at and go, who won, who lost, you know going in, there's no answer to it.
Right.
I mean, again, just peak absurdity.
Yeah,
I guess you've got a
crazy.
quota of how many articles you've got to put up or something like that. But what that is, you want to talk about the deadest of dead season stories.
Wouldn't it be more interesting if you just talked about all the first-round quarterbacks that year and what has happened with them?
Even though that's probably been done 50 times.
I get it.
I'd rather read that.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, who among the other quarterback, Trevor Lawrence got his deal, okay? So the Jags are committed to him. Who among these others has a chance to rehabilitate their career and one day, you know, change the narrative? Okay.
Trevor Lawrence is the starter. Everyone else, this is where we think they're at and where the opportunity might come.
You can include Trevor in there and say, was he worth the deal? Was he, where is he at in his development and all this stuff? All that's fine. Even though it's been done, you can repackage that in some kind of way. And you've got guys who've actually played football and have a chance. Like, hey, will Justin Fields at any point beat out Russell Wilson, or will he be used in some different capacity?
Yeah, like just comparing Trey Lance, Mac Jones, and Justin Fields in that capacity is much more interesting than here's the guys that were traded in this trade where we conclude nothing happened.
By the way, don't forget Zach Wilson now.
And Zach Wilson.
Yes.
Right. Like, it's much more interesting to try to figure out what are the future opportunities for those 4 guys than it is to look for any amount of time at the trade that Mac Jones was involved in. That's nuts.
Was there another first round? Were there 6 that year in the draft?
I thought that
in the
was
first
the
round?
list, but
Or was it 5?
Yeah.
No, it was 5. 5 quarterbacks selected in the first round. Yeah.
I think that was 6 this year.
How quickly you jump past Zach Wilson, though, Tony.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, Zach Wilson, it's the whole thing is absurd, right? He is in Denver now, right, where people you don't even hear him mentioned. It's can Jarrett Stidham open the season as a starter, or they go right to Bo Nix?
Yeah.
There's no rehabilitation of Zach Wilson, maybe as a career backup or something like that. I mean, who's ever going to give Zach Wilson
the
chance, right? That's where he's at right now. And I mean, Trey Lance, you probably have to say, he's
likely there.
He's likely there, but at least there's that thought that, well, if Dak did leave, if he does hit free agency, could Trey Lance have the opportunity in Dallas? I don't know. He's probably on a 1-year deal. I don't even know if he's got anything beyond this year, but I've seen flashes from Justin Fields, but the Mac Jones versus Joe Milton storyline was not one I expected to see.
No, that's a little off the reservation.
All right, let's back to the submersible we go with Dougie P. Speaking at the American Century Classic, I think is what it was called, the golf tournament this weekend. Just a couple more things as he was being interviewed in relation to that and Jaguar stuff, and just talked about the way the season ended. And this is something this is a storyline that we need to follow into training camp because, Tony, they rode a high coming off of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loved them, including us. They were the darlings, AFC South, Trevor Lawrence, top 10 quarterback. It's only up from here, right? Well, maybe a kick in the teeth. Bottom line, I would have rather won the division, won a playoff game again, maybe 2, but they didn't get it. So if you're not going to get it, maybe the kick in the teeth does propel them to greater heights. And Doug leaned into that with the collapse, he says, still burning brightly with this team.
I think, Bucky, you and I've had conversations after games last year about it, and I think for myself, it's going to burn. It's going to burn for a long time until we get to meaningful games again and start playing in September. But I think that's the same fuel, the motivating factor for our players. That the way we ended is not us. And no matter what you go through as a football team, everybody goes through adversity. There's always going to be injuries. But you can't make excuses, and you got to go play football. And so for us, we got to learn from that, roll up our sleeves during training camp, work hard, and just play it one game at a time.
They can keep saying it's not us, show us, right? Like, show us that you are who we thought you were.
When has anyone ever said, yeah, we collapsed? That's kind of who we were.
Yeah, I get it.
In any sport.
That's how all those things happen. It's a new season. Everything changes, but you got to show it.
Let me interrupt here. Doom is right. Consultants. That's the word I was looking for.
Word,
yes, Thank you, Doom.
Yeah.
Consultants, the ones who tell you you're doing it wrong or you're doing it right. And, yes, they're a dime a dozen.
They certainly are. One more here from Coach Pederson, who just talked about all the things, hopefully, that prove that they're not who they were at the end of last season. That's not us. Well, we'll add a bunch of guys, and hopefully that gets us back to where who we are can show up on the field, including all the additions that they've made on the offensive side.
Well, I think that's what we saw in Gabe Davis, at Buffalo, what he did, how he could kind of stretch the field. He was a big, tall receiver that could go over the middle. He's physical, can block. And I would say that that's a piece that we missed a little bit last year. Zay was beat up a little bit. We missed Christian at the end of the season. We get Christian back healthy. We lost Calvin Ridley, but now we get Gabe and Brian. And Brian's got the speed element that we probably lost with Calvin. And so we've got to integrate all that. We got to get on the same page early as we head into training camp. But I'm excited for these guys and how they fit. And then Devin brings another element too in our return game with Agnew not back. So we feeling like we're in a good spot. And the big thing is just a matter of I think just working together and building the camaraderie and then the team around our quarterback that can help us all be successful.
I continue to see stories that say, well, they brought in Gabe Davis to replace Calvin Ridley. Even if you go, well, no, it's Brian Thomas. Does it really matter? They're replacing Ridley and Zay Jones and Jamal Agnew with Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis, and Devin Duvernay. It's a collective kind of thing. And I heard the guys talk about it this morning, and it's fair criticism. Gabe Davis has never been this super productive guy.
No.
But if you look at what his productivity was or has been in his career prior to getting here and compare that to what Zay Jones's productivity was, we all looked at Zay Jones like, why are they giving this guy like 9, 10, 11 million bucks or whatever it was? Gabe Davis, to me, blows him away in terms of his productivity. And his first year in Jacksonville, Zay Jones went from 47 catches the year before with the Raiders to 82 here. I'm not saying that that's going to happen necessarily with Gabe Davis, but that's what they're seeing. They're saying, we got a diamond in the rough. We can get more out of him given the right kind of opportunities. And I think that's what they believe with Gabe Davis. But he's not a one-for-one replacement for Calvin Ridley. All right, halfway home if you want to get in. The question of the day asking you which position player, position group is not getting enough attention. We'll get into that coming up in hour number 2 with Tony Smith. I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. So I went on vacation, 11 days off. They kind of, you get a little sloppy with what you're eating here and there. And I really didn't, because Awaken 180's got such a good plan. I've got cheat days built into it, man. I am not missing out on anything. I am not starving myself. There's no exercise required with Awaken 180. Look, exercise is part of a healthy, balanced lifestyle. There's no question about it. But you don't have to do it. There are no medications. I watch all of these different commercials for weight loss plans. You got to inject this. You got to do that. If you go off the plan, you're going to put the weight back on. Awaken 180, I lost my weight last September. Going to be coming up on a year pretty soon, and I've kept it off. I mean, not a single pound extra has gone on. In fact, I'm probably a couple of pounds less than I was last September. You can be the next Awaken 180 success story. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or schedule a free online consultation with Awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Red, 10-10, easy, Duval. Let's go, Googans. Blue, 92.5.
This July, celebrate America's independence with a fresh view from Renewal by Anderson. Hi, this is Chelsea. Right now, buy any 4 windows or patio doors and get the 5th free. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Our custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors will enhance the beauty and value of your home. Visit rbafla.com to schedule your complimentary design consultation. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Pickett here. Brace for hurricane season with our friends at Rhino Shield. Their home exterior coatings withstand 96-mile-per-hour wind-driven rains, keeping your home safe and dry. Rhino Shield's advanced ceramic technology also helps keep your home cooler and reduces your energy bill. This summer, take advantage of their 30% off, 0% interest financing offer, plus a 25-year warranty. Call Rhino Shield, 414-4868. That's 414-4868 for a free estimate, or visit rhinoshieldjax.com. That's rhinoshieldjax.com.
Hey, Jaguar friends, I'm Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL strong safety for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm hosting my free Tackling Technique Jaguars camp for kids ages 10 to 14 on July the 27th. This Jaguar camp will have some of my former Jaguar teammates out there coaching the kids on all the fundamentals that it takes to be a great tackler. To get involved, just go to DariusNextLevelTraining.com to sign up your kids ages 10 to 14. If you'd like to sponsor, you can go to the same website, DariusNextLevelTraining.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hun, the drain really smells.
Yeah, wow, it does.
I think it's getting backed up. What should we do? Did you just quack like a duck?
Yes, I did. Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Need help with a plumbing issue at your home or business? Just call the Duck.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time home buyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time home buyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time home buyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. That's 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Dave and Ammon here with Zero Res. So Ammon, you have worked for Zero Res since you were 9 years old. What makes Zero Res the right choice for cleaning carpets and tile?
I can think of 3 simple reasons. We have the best process, the best people, and our promise to do the best cleaning possible every time.
So what deals does Zero Res offering for this month?
July is National Carpet Cleaning Month, so for home carpet cleaning, we're offering $49 per room, and for businesses, we're offering 20% off.
Sounds like a great time to get your carpets cleaned. Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
You could win your share of over $450,000 in cash and prizes at the 5-star Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. The fun starts July 13th with the inaugural kickoff beach tournament with a $50,000 cash first prize. There's a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the general offshore tournament winner takes home a 28T contender with twin 200 Yamahas. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. As they head into this season's spring's training camp, Jaguar head coach Doug Pederson offered insight on his recast wide receiver room.
We got to get on the same page early as we head into training camp, but I'm excited for these guys and how they fit. We feeling like we're in a good spot.
This year, SEC's Media Days event will kick off today and run through July 18th. 1010XL will have updates beginning tomorrow. The Jacksonville Sharks of the Indoor Football League fell to the Green Bay Blizzards over the weekend. The Sharks left some points on the field, which ended up costing them the game. Next, the Sharks will face the Quad City Steamwheelers in their last home game of the season this Saturday. The Jacksonville Jaguars and Everbank Stadium partners will host the job fair today at Everbank Stadium, presented by the Jaguar Guest Experience Department. The hiring event aims to fill thousands of part-time positions for all 2024 home games and other stadium events throughout the season. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
86 degrees at 10:57. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Say cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
So, Tony, I feel a little hyperactive today. It's first day back. Got a lot of energy. Like, I feel like I'm going to sweat through my shirt here. And it's nice and comfortable in the studio, by the way. I don't know what temperature they have it on. 74?
74.
I like 74. 74 is a good number. Anyway, just in terms of temperature, can't tell you who wore number 74 or whatever. But it dawned on me, as I'm drinking a little bit of a caffeinated beverage here. I don't know in the last 11 days that I've been gone if I had a single caffeinated beverage. I don't drink coffee, although I did have a sweet tea.
Some caffeine.
I'm sure there's some caffeine in that. I used to drink prior to my Awaken 180 days. I used to drink I could down a 12-pack of Pepsi a day, no problem. No problem. But then they went and tinkered with the formula on the one with real sugar, and it's not the same. Don't mess with it, man. It's like New Coke or some nonsense coming out. So I've lost the taste for it. I don't know. I feel like I don't know what's happened to me. I've become a completely different person.
By the way,
2 weeks.
And we'll get out to the phone lines with Byron here in just a moment. 5 players have worn 74 in Jacksonville Jaguars history.
Can't name a damn one of them.
Cam Robinson currently.
Okay, Cam Robinson I could probably name.
Wears 74. Before him was Sam Young, who wore it from 2013.
Battling Sammy Young.
2015, 2010 and 11. Aaron Campman wore 74. Maurice Williams before him.
I love Mo.
From 2001 to 2009. And then LaManzer Williams, the great LaManzer Williams.
The great. Yes. I mean, why? It's surprising anyone else got a chance to wear it after LaManzer Williams.
Yes.
And no offense to Cam, I just don't do
I'm with you.
Football numbers, especially offensive line numbers. Like some people do, and that's fine if you're into that. I could watch. I watch every snap of Cam Robinson's career. I might have guessed 74, but I wouldn't have been 100% sure. Wouldn't have bet my life on it. Let's put it that way. So,
LaManzer, by the way, a defensive end who played 2 games in 1998 with no stats, except that he played in 2 games.
I really wore that 74 well. He filled it out great. Mo Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
Good player, Mo Williams.
Mo was a really good player.
Back in the day. So, Aaron Campman, we had high hopes for.
Yes.
He's one of those guys. That was like the era of, let's sign a guy who's probably past his prime. He's beat to hell, but damn it, he's going to be good for us. He's going to get us 6 sacks. So that'll be fantastic, won't it?
We got a fountain of youth somewhere in town, right?
Somewhere near down the road.
Yeah.
It's by me. It's by me. Yeah. It's down my neck of the woods. All right. Let's see what's on Byron's mind on this fine morning. I want to dig a little deeper into the Gabe Davis, Zay Jones comparison as well here coming up in a moment. Byron in Gainesville. Good morning, sir. How are you? Duval! That's all the caffeine talking right now, Byron. What can I do for you, buddy?
I done had my coffee, man. Hey, I'm with you with those Pepsis, but I do love the Coke Pepsis. But, hey, guys, I want to say thank you for being there with the dead season. And all we hope for is no trouble. So, Jags, do not get in trouble, please. And, man, I remember I was coming to meet you guys, and you were talking, Mike. I met Tony. He probably don't remember, but Tim Tebow era when I first got up there. So this is how long I've been talking to you guys. And I love the show, man. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And let me get on to what I was talking about. Guys, you were earlier, some of you guys were bringing up about the quarterbacks. And I think they did top 10. It might be the previous show. But, the Lamar Jacksons, and we got C.J. Stroud now in our conference. I think Anthony Richardson, and even Levitt. But, guys, the NFL has changed. And it's a lot of moving. And these guys are they assassins. The quarterbacks, they have to be nerves. They don't get scared of nothing. So where I'm going, the most important position on a team is offensive line right now. You got to run the ball like we couldn't to get that 1 or 2 yards to keep the pressure off your quarterback on third down, and you have to protect him in a league where the next point would be defensive line, because if you're not getting pressure, you can put every cornerback you got back there. No one can stop. I'm a basketball player. You cannot stay with me but a second or two. I don't care who you are. I can move. Let me leave that alone. But, guys, you have to put pressure on the quarterback. So the line, defensively and offensively, win games, period. Nothing else is important about football. But the quarterback is number one. But
hey,
that's
Byron,
my theory of the game.
Before you leave, are you coming to any of the open training camp practices this year?
Know it. I will. And I didn't see E.T., so and I'm 66 now. E.T., I think I can beat you running now because I got you, man.
We're all,
hey, man,
bro, you got to get in line right now because we're all wanting a piece of E.T. My broke
yeah, we
down.
got to get it way down.
I'm with you, man. I'll give him a 5-yard head start, and let's go, E.T.
Right now, yeah.
That's your problem. You got a boot on. That's not my problem. So
that's right, E. And Holiday, we love you, man. Jacksonville, Maxwell, Humphrey, go Jags!
Thank you, Byron. We love you, Byron. I do. Byron's like on the break, RJ's putting him up on the board so we can see who we got. And I said, you don't need to type in Gainesville. I'm pretty sure I know who Byron is. There may be other Byrons out there who call the show from time to time, but Byron is as enthusiastic as any Jaguars Today caller
no doubt.
That we get, for sure. Look, we talk about positions you need to talk about. O-line is the position group. Overall, and we talked it to death. And it's one of those proofs in the pudding, won't know. And that's true basically of any position, right? Like, to me, and we'll get to this a little bit later on, but I think who that third linebacker is going to be, Tony, we can talk about, you play nickel 60% of the time, whatever. What about the other 35, 40% of the time?
Yeah.
That's a starter, potentially, for you. And we don't know who that's going to be right now.
And the questions about what it's going to look like on defense and how they want to approach any of those things, 3 linebackers or 3 safeties, how much do they even want to balance?
Could be that, sure.
Right, like those things out, because they do have a bunch of guys that are really versatile that they've added to the secondary. So asking different guys to do different things and what exactly that's going to look like. And even if you're playing nickel 60% of the time, 70% of the time in today's NFL, even when you're in sets that would usually be 3 linebackers in today's NFL, do you do more 3 safety looks, right, in those situations than you typically would for a team because of whatever your comfort level is with whatever that third linebacker was going to be between Muma and Miller, right? Like, I don't know which of those guys is going to be the third linebacker at this point. I would be really surprised if it's Yasir Abdullah as the third linebacker on the field for the football team, right? Like, that one would surprise me. What would happen between those other 2 guys? I'm not really sure which way to lean with that. And given the players they have on the roster, I wouldn't be surprised if they do lean more towards, okay, if that means we have Antonio Johnson basically playing in the box, fine. Right?
Sure,
I
right.
think
It's kind of a hybrid safety linebacker.
I think they're comfortable. I think they're likely more comfortable doing that than they are being in 3 linebacker sets most of the time. When they're in those kind of situations, they're still going to have some formations where that's what they do with the 3 linebackers on the field. But I do think what they want to do with that third safety comes into play more in those situations than maybe we've talked about to this point. Now, we don't know what the answers to any of that are and won't start finding out those answers until a week from Wednesday.
They have a lot of interesting options.
Right.
Safety. Honestly, Terrell Edmunds is a guy that, like, if you had signed him 2 years ago, you go, I wonder if that guy's going to start, right? And I almost forgot that they had picked him up this offseason. And I was looking at some stuff on my break, and I'm like, that's right, they do have Terrell Edmunds. I probably did forget that they had signed him. Like, damn, he's played a lot of solid football. He's been a starter a good bit of his NFL career. I want Yasir Abdullah. for his sake, to have like just 4 or 5 sacks this year. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because as soon as you said his name, my mind immediately went to Kayvon Chaisson 2.0, which is not fair. He's only played 1 year. You got to give him more of a chance than that. But did you see the Kayvon Chaisson quotes out there?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Kayvon Chaisson was asked about what he brings to the Carolina Panthers, who are just a horrendous team at the moment, right? Earned the number 1 pick, but they didn't own it, so it went to the Chicago Bears. What are they getting? They're getting a complete player, and they're getting a winner, Chaisson said. That's the most important thing is the W column. I got used to winning in high school and college. Is he suggesting that then the Jags are what dragged me down?
It's so silly.
Right? It's a mindset and acknowledgement of the grind it takes to reach a certain level and make a certain impact. What impact are we talking about? I mean, high school and college, that's great. You know, Al Bundy had some high school highlights that he still reminisces about.
He did.
It's about competition. They're getting someone who's truly loyal and respects the game, a true rarity.
What?
Kayvon, this is what he's saying about himself. All in all, they're getting a complete player, a complete person and human that comes with it. I feel like I have every tool it takes to be a great player. Then why didn't you utilize them while you were here in Jacksonville? I mean, come on, man. At a certain point, you're out on the field. It's not all the scheme's fault that you're making zero dent in the box score.
You know, that feels like a lot of the filler answers you get from good players in the league, right? Like, that's what that feels like to me.
From good players.
Right. And when it comes from a player that has accomplished what Kayvon has at this point, like, that's a pretty good answer if you ask
Have
Trayvon
ever
Walker.
done something?
Right. Like, Trayvon Walker answers like that, you're like, okay. You know, I don't expect.
I'm a winner, give you all I have.
Right. I
grind
don't
it out.
expect much more than that when I ask Trayvon a question. If he gives me more than that, it's like, all right, this is something to react to. You know, when he's willing to say, I want to set the Jaguars team record for a season in sacks. Like, he talks about his goals, the way that he was willing to last offseason. Like, those are notable things when players are willing to say those kind of things. Like, that feels like that kind of filler stuff that players say when they're being asked questions by the media. It rings really hollow for a player that has accomplished what Kayvon has accomplished to this point in his career.
It almost felt like when he says, you know, the high school college thing, I got used to winning in high school and college. Without saying it, it's like a little backhand, like, well, wasn't my fault. Look where I played. Buddy, you're going to the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Okay? This winning tradition has not been built up in Carolina. So good luck with it. And good luck getting on the field. As they point out in this piece, Jadeveon Clowney, DJ Wanham, they lost Brian Burns. So there should be opportunity. Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Wanham, you know, maybe DJ Wanham's certainly not a household name, but a much more impactful pass rusher with the Vikings than Kayvon Chaisson ever was here in Jacksonville. And again, I don't begrudge the guy. Now, there is part of me that goes, I hope he doesn't go turn into an 8 to 10 sack guy, you know, because where was that here?
Yeah.
Why did we have to spend the first round pick and basically put you on scholarship for the entirety of your rookie deal for zero impact? And, you know, again, not his fault where he got selected, but, you know, almost a suggestion, and maybe it's me being a little sensitive reading between the lines, that, you know, well, in high school and college, I've shown you I'm a winner. Not my fault I didn't win at the pro level. I mean, come on, man. Opportunity was abundant here in Jacksonville, to be sure. All right. We'll get to, I don't want to jump into it too deep here because we got a little bit of a break coming up. But the Zay Jones, Gabe Davis statistical comparison. Now, I know we've looked at this before, but Tony, the consultants will tell you it's okay to go back to a topic you've already covered. So now that the word consultant is in my mind via Duval Doom, thank you very much. I can reference that. And then we'll get into, as the hour goes along, today's Chad and Sandy Real Estate question of the day, which is asking you which player, position, or position group on the Jags is not getting the attention or hasn't gotten the attention. Even if you think we've talked to or blue in the face on the offensive line, if you think that should be leading the show every day, how can we come back with 80% of the same line and expect different results? Well, we've talked about that, but maybe you don't think to the degree that we should have. Could be that. from a positive or a negative standpoint. Could be any position on the team. So we'll break that down as we continue along here in hour number 2 of Jaguars Today. I'm reintroducing myself to caffeine, which is nice. I'm reintroducing myself to Tony Smith. One day I'll see Dylan Denmark again, and no offense to RJ Saunders. We'll have the whole Jaguars Today crew back and in action as we creep closer towards training camp opening up. We'll get into that question of the day on the way, but coming up next, a little bit of a comparison on what exactly the Jags are getting in Gabe Davis and what do they think they see compared to when they signed Zay Jones and even Marvin Jones Jr. a couple of seasons ago or a couple of off seasons ago. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith, along with RJ Saunders. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, sandwiches, subs, the whole line, breakfast items. You want salads, you want protein packs, you want veggie trays, you want fruit cups. They got a little something for everybody, no matter where you may be on your weight loss journey. You may not be on a weight loss journey. You may just be journeying across the great county of Duval and looking for a little food on the go to fill you up but not weigh you down. Dandy has had your back as a Jacksonville-based company for nearly 70 years. That's right. I've been a Dandy customer for over 3 decades, long before they were ever a sponsor of Jaguars Today, long before the Jaguars were even the Jaguars here in Jacksonville. But Dandy has always delivered, and that's why I am a consistent customer of theirs. You know, you can roll into a gate station, head to the Fresh Case, and get great variety of food made with the highest quality ingredients on the go. If you're hungry, Dandy's the name to know, so go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm dancing. Let's go. Gotta love this, don't you? I like this kind of party. I love you, man. You can't tell this one something wrong with you. Best feeling in the world.
Celebrate sports and life with 1010XL.
Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
For over 40 years, Play It Again Sports has served its customers with a winning, sustainable shopping model. Could say, we were recycling before recycling was cool. Save on quality used sporting goods for baseball, softball, lacrosse, hockey, golf, tennis, and more. Or sell us your gently used gear. We buy all sports, all seasons, and offer cash on the spot. Stop by Play It Again Sports today on Merrill Road near 295 or online at playitagainsports.com.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
If the Florida heat is getting you down and you're sweating up a storm, fire up a phone call to Florida Home AC and order an AC tune-up. It's the best way to beat the heat and keep your AC unit working at peak performance. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com for their tune-up special and make sure you're primed for the peak of that heat. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just a phone call away at 777-4300. Order that tune-up today.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Sports fans, JJ LaSalva here. When I need to send my bride flowers or a plant for birthdays or anniversaries, I always go with Hume Flowers. After all, they've been the leading florist in these parts for over 75 years. You can always rely on Hume Flowers.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Mystic Cornhole Company builds the best high-quality custom boards right here in Jax. Perfect for weddings, tailgating, your business, a day at the beach, and a great gift idea for you-know-who. See their designs at mysticcornholecompany.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, reminder, you can hit us up in a variety of fashions. You can get into the YouTube virtual studio and watch the program if you aren't too horrified by what you're seeing here. I did go get the haircut, trimmed. I was like in total postseason mode, right? I was like as Grizzly Adams as I get with the scraggly beard and all that. So things are trimmed up a little bit, Tony, heading into training camp. Needed that. The Garber Auto Mall phone lines, a brand new phone line sponsor. We welcome them on board here at 641-1010 or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. And we always tell you to hit us up on social media as well, which is basically the X platform, at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, or today at R.Got.No.J, but oftentimes at 1010XL Denmark. So we'll get to some of the responses we've gotten here in a moment. But first, let's take a moment to find out what's happening around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison was arrested Friday near Los Angeles International Airport on suspicion of driving under the influence, the California Highway Patrol said Sunday night. According to a police report, a West Los Angeles officer found a white Rolls-Royce blocking a lane of I-105 westbound to Sepulveda Boulevard northbound. The driver, later identified as Addison, was asleep behind the wheel, according to the report. A DUI investigation led to Addison's arrest later that night. It's no big surprise, but the Cincinnati Bengals and franchise-tagged wide receiver T. Higgins will not be getting a long-term deal done by today's deadline for that to get done. Higgins signed his franchise tag about a month ago and is now set to become a free agent after the 2024 season, with no long-term deal having gotten done before today's deadline. Caleb Williams was asked at an event this weekend about his still not having signed his rookie deal with the Chicago Bears, a rarity for players in the modern draft era, given the contract parameters are mostly done from the moment a player gets picked. Williams said that his lawyers and the guys up top with the Bears are handling all of that. Williams' situation could be a little more complicated since he does not have an NFLPA-approved agent. 5 first-round picks haven't signed their deals yet. One of the other four is Chicago draft pick Rome Odunze. The Bears rookies report for training camp on Tuesday. The other three are J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner in Minnesota, and Amarius Mims in Cincinnati. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, former NFL wide receiver and all-pro return man Jacoby Jones passed away peacefully at his home, according to a statement from his family on Sunday at the age of 40. Jones was on the receiving end of a 70-yard touchdown pass in the closing moments of regulations from Joe Flacco during a divisional round eventual double overtime playoff win against Denver, while with the Baltimore Ravens in a play that has come to be called the Mile High Miracle. A few weeks later in the Super Bowl, Jones returned a kick 108 yards for a touchdown and had his lone reception in that game result in a 56-yard touchdown in the Ravens' 34-31 win in the Super Bowl over San Francisco in the Blackout Bowl there in New Orleans.
I mean, legend for that, right? And look, a couple of things in those storylines, and rest in peace, Jacoby Jones. We discussed that, or his untimely passing in hour number one. Caleb Williams, by the rules of the NFL, is not allowed to have his lawyer, or you have to have an agent negotiate with the team. If you are acting as your own agent, then you have to negotiate. Yeah. The guys up top are handling that. Like, what? I mean, flying right in the face.
You made the decision
of the NFL
that
rules.
You're the guy up top. Now, you can talk to whoever you want to talk to on your own time.
Sure you can.
About those things, right? And so
get advice.
You're allowed to get help on your end to make this kind of thing happen, but they're not talking to your guy.
If he's not a certified agent, he can't negotiate with the club. But as the NFL will do, don't look over here. Right? And then really, that's what it's going to come down to. But the biggest thing, obviously, Jacoby Jones passing away takes precedence. But beyond that, we tell you all the time, no news is good news. It's Jordan Addison. That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. No news is good news. Everything all quiet on the Jaguar front. Trevor Lawrence made a birdie putt. Yay! Right? If that's the extent of it, you're doing well. And Jordan Addison, people will look back last year. He had like a reckless driving, speeding situation, and people, no big deal. We've all done it before. All right, well, now here's another one on top of that is much more significant. I don't know how many people have passed out on the highway before. I haven't. Right? No. At no point in my life, no matter how dumb I was at any stage, and I never had as much to jeopardize in terms of career, finances, and all that like Jordan Addison does.
Or the resources to not have to face that.
There's that as well, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have Uber back in my day. And if they did, probably couldn't afford it. I would have been a poor college student or what have you.
I'm guessing Jordan Addison could.
All right, so let's get to this. We got a few minutes here. Zay Jones, Gabe Davis. All right, somebody on the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Zay Jones had more production in terms of clutch plays than anyone. You're literally an idiot if you don't think so. Is it too soon to call someone an idiot on my first day back? Because I'll say, you're literally an idiot if you don't know what we're talking about here. We're talking about when the Jaguars signed Zay Jones. Don't tell me you were going, man, he was clutch with the Raiders all this time. You didn't think a damn thing about Zay Jones in a positive fashion when he got here. Now we learned to love Zay because he did make clutch plays. And that is kind of my point. Zay Jones, when he got to the Jaguars, had in 2018, his second year in the league. Now, keep in mind, he played 6 years before he got to Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. So his second year in the league, he had 56 catches. Then he had 7. Then he had 20. Then he had 14. Then he had 47, which was his second highest of his career. His two best yardage seasons were those two where he had 56 and 47. Mm-hmm. He had 652 and 546. In that second season, 56, 652, he scored 7 touchdowns, okay? Along the way, he scored 4 other ones in 5 years, okay? So I'm talking about the guy the Jags got. He then, Tony, hooked up with whom?
Trevor Lawrence and Doug Pederson.
Oh, did that help his production?
It obviously did.
82 catches, 823 yards, and 5 touchdowns in his first year as a Jag. And did he make clutch plays? You're damn right he did.
He did.
Nobody's knocking Zay's performance with the Jags.
He was a really good player here.
When healthy, was a really good player. Got hurt the next year, didn't play a ton, and his production fell off. But his yards per catch average in his career, despite Zay Jones being a really fast guy, was never great.
No.
Right? 10.6 is his career average. His 2 years in Jacksonville were 10.0, 9.4. Two of the lowest 3 seasons of his career. Yeah. So he was more of a possession guy, but he was a solid player. And the point being, when he got here, we're like, what? Like, I'm not really questioning this Christian Kirk contract as much as I'm questioning you're giving $9 million to Zay Jones for this.
Absolutely.
Gabe Davis comes here, and granted, he has not had high-volume reception seasons, but he has averaged no less than 15.7 yards per catch in any year of his 4-year career.
Big play guy.
Huge play guy.
Yeah.
Tone, his touchdowns by year, 7, 7, 6, and 7. Okay? Well, he's got Josh Allen thrown to him. He had Stephon Diggs. Well, we hope that Trevor Lawrence and a few more opportunities and Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram and Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Etienne, which Buffalo never really had a look-at-me running game in his time when he was there, that he gets those opportunities. That's the point. With greater opportunity, here's a guy who is shown to be so much more explosive than Zay Jones ever was at any point in his career coming in. So when we look and just say, well, this is a guy who's never caught 50 balls in a year, what can we really expect out of him? What could we have expected out of Zay Jones? And he put up 82 catches in his first year.
If Gabe Davis had 45 for 746 and 7 touchdowns, which is what he did in Buffalo last year, then he has more than replaced what Zay Jones did for the offense last year, statistically.
Easily.
Now, I don't know what the impact of that's going to be with what the Jaguars have to do more of what Zay was actually being asked to do in the Jaguars offense, right? They don't directly replace one another with the roles that each of these guys are expected to have in the offense. But if Gabe were to come in and put up those numbers, then I think he's capable of giving you more than that here in 2024. But if he comes in and does that again, okay.
Right. I would take 48 for 807 touchdowns.
Yes.
Right. But the point being, don't judge him on the numbers he's gotten with the opportunities he's gotten to this point. By the way, he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis, young guy. The Jags were right in signing Zay Jones, that they saw more in him connecting with Doug Pederson and Trevor Lawrence than he had ever produced in 6